Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michelle. I am Michelle. So today I'm going to be trying out a recipe that I've never tried before. This is going to be for delicate mint thin cookies. This comes to us from tasteofhome.com. So to make this recipe, you're going to need the following ingredients: salted butter that needs to be softened, sugar, 1 large egg yolk, vanilla extract, all-purpose flour, baking powder, salt, milk. It says 2%, but I'm going to use whole milk. I think it'll be fine. The recipe said 1 cup of mint. I measured this out, but I mean, really, I don't know how you measure exactly with a cup. I don't know if it's supposed to be packed or what they're supposed to do. But anyway, this is actually about 1 ounce or 28 grams of fresh mint. I think that's a much easier way to be consistent. And the original recipe uses some chocolate chips and shortening. I'm going to be using the Ghirardelli dark wafers so that it's a little bit easier, but also I have some to use up. So I decided I would do that for the dipping part. All right, so we are going to start with making the dough here in the mixer. We have 1/2 cup of the salted butter that was softened and 1/2 cup of regular sugar. We're going to beat, or cream, I should say, those together. Once you have those creamed together, you're going to add in the 1 large egg yolk and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And again, we're going to mix those until they're well combined. You will then want to measure out your flour, which is 180 grams or 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, we will be adding 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder and 1/8 teaspoon of regular salt. Just kind of give those a little stir so they kind of combine together. Then you're also going to need to measure out 3 tablespoons of milk. We're going to be adding these to the mixture alternatively. So I'm going to put in just a little bit of this and then mix it in, and then I'll put in a little bit of the milk and keep alternating. Once you have combined all of that, you're going to be putting in the mint. You need to have finely chopped it up. This looks like a lot of mint. But I also know that the mint flavor is not that strong per leaf, so I can see why they'd probably want to use that much. Again, I do not know since I haven't made this recipe before. So we're going to get this stirred in. Very minty. Once we get that together, we are to form it into 2 8-inch logs. We're going to wrap those in plastic wrap and put them in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Okay, these were my rolls. You can see what they looked like here. And these have actually been in the freezer or fridge, sorry, not the freezer, the fridge for about 4 hours. Like I said, they only had to be 2, but it does say until they're solid, and mine were solid before then, but I wasn't ready. Okay, we're gonna unwrap them, and then it says we're going to be slicing them into 1/4 inch rounds. Like that, and then we are to put them on an ungreased baking sheet. We're heating our oven up to 350 degrees. You want to space these, it says, 1 inch apart, and then we're going to be baking them for approximately 8 to 12 minutes until they're starting to get golden brown. These have just come out of the oven. These, I ended up going for 12 minutes. You can kind of see how there's a little bit of golden brownness right there. And it says to go ahead and transfer them to the rack. It doesn't say anything about leaving them on the cookie sheet. I'm going to see if these come up okay like that. Yep, they seem to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on the cookie sheet the cookie rack rather. Put them on the cookie rack here and let them cool completely before we proceed to the last step, which is doing the chocolate coating. Okay, these cookies are plenty cooled now. And so what I did was I'm going to tell you that I did melt the Ghirardelli melts. I do not recommend these. I'm sorry, Ghirardelli, I love your chocolates, but those aren't real chocolate. And after reading the ingredients list and smelling it after I melted it, I was like, this doesn't even really smell like chocolate that much. So I changed my mind and melted some actual chocolate. And it is actually Ghirardelli 70% chocolate here, 70% cacao. And put a little tiny bit, I didn't measure it, but just a little bit of shortening in there so that it'll help harden the cookies without having to temper the chocolate really. So what we're going to do is dip each cookie in there. And in the picture, she had them dipped about halfway. So I'm going to do like that. Place them on my rack so that they can drip off. I don't think you have to do it in a particular way. If you want to dip the bottoms, if you want to completely submerge them, I think that it's really up to you which way you want to go with these. Anyhow, we'll get all of those dipped. I'll let them set for just a moment, and then we'll do a final plating. Now it's time for our final plating. I'm not plating them because they are not set yet, but I'm really, really excited to try these because they smell really good. And I wanted to let you know that the amount of chocolate that I use, I didn't say it when I was doing it because I thought, well, I'll see how much it takes to coat these. And it ended up being that the 7 ounces that I used, which was 2 of those bar packages that you get with Ghirardelli, that turned out to be basically perfect for these. So you can see how many cookies this made. We have not eaten any of them yet. So anyway, let's have a taste and see just how good these are, even though they're not set. Yeah. Those are great. They're minty and nice, but not overpowering full for a mintiness. It's not like, mint. It's just a real nice, as she explained on the description, a delicate mint flavor there, a light flavor. highly recommend trying these. It doesn't make a ton of cookies, so we won't have a bunch left over, which will be really nice. Anyway, thank you for joining me for another episode of Cheesy Michelle. Please be sure to tell your friends about this channel, share it with them, and give me a like on the video and comment if do you like mint and chocolate cookies? Do you have a favorite mint chocolate cookie? Or do you make mint chocolate cookies? Those kinds of things. I love hearing your comments, even if you haven't made the recipe. And of course, we always want new subscribers. And we'll see you next time. Au revoir.